right at the top of the hour. Thank you for joining me for Basics in the Lane, in YGY life. Welcome. So I'll just jump right in. This training is simple and it does not have to take very long. So YGY, Basics in the Lane. So the great enough reason why. Your why will get you out of bed in the morning. Your why will be the reason that you do this. Your why will be bigger, or should be bigger, than excuses that you may make to not do things. And you know, none of us are perfect, but your why is certainly the motivating factor. It will pull you or push you, depending. Do the things you don't feel like doing, to apply the system. And this training is part of the overall system in YGY. And so this is what, for me, my why is pretty big. I knew from a young kid that I wanted to help people. And so I got into the healthcare field. And it has now become, not only do I have a heart to help people, but myself and my husband had some health issues that, you know, we worked through and recovered from. And also the system of longevity itself made sense to me, far and away above the system that I'm currently working my way out of. So I'm looking forward to time freedom to welcome. Hello. Hi, Clarissa. Welcome. I'm right at the beginning, so you didn't miss much. So I was just talking about my why, and it's both financial freedom, time freedom, and I've already got my health freedom. So I was saying it'll get you out of bed in the morning, it'll keep you up late at night, and it'll usually blast through excuses that we make and get us going even when we don't feel like it. And so one of the ways to get started, one of the first ways to get started, is to develop your list. If you are someone who wants to do this full time, you can start with a list of 50 and work from there. If you're someone who wants to do this full time and are serious about it, a list of 200 names is a really good place to start. And also, Clarissa, feel free to chime in anytime if you have questions or if you want me to repeat anything or just want to add to the conversation. So this is interactive. I don't need to just talk at you. So names, emails, and phone numbers. So this is powerful. And you know, doing this business is a journey for everybody. And you find a lot out about yourself when you apply the system, especially if it's a brand new system. And so for me, at first, the list was, I was resistant to that. And one of my amazing mentors said, well, that's where the power is. Whatever you're resistant to, that's where the power is. I thought that was really interesting. That hit home for me. So I'm well on my way to making my list of well over 200 names, because that's not many. I know, I could probably get to 1,000 by the end of the weekend. So anyway, and it becomes an active list. You want to prioritize it, and it makes sense. And the method that we do is just check marks. So you look for someone that you have mutual respect with, someone that you've talked to enough that you realize that there's a need there, whether like I was saying before, whether financial need, time need, health need. So mutual respect, they have a need, and they have money to get started right away. And as of recent conversations with my mentors, we're listening for an urgent need. So a lot of people need what we have, and so those are the ones that are going to get that third check mark. And not just get started with the CEO pack. The Z-Radical CEO pack is our gold standard. We think it's the most awesome, and it is the most value, both for what's in it and for the opportunity that it provides for starting this business. Okay. So once you've started your list, You start thinking about those people, you start looking at those names, you start thinking about, their needs, and you think about, how urgent, and you start having conversations with people. And this is a skill that you build. This is a personal development program wrapped in a comp plan, as I've heard so many times. I don't remember where it came from, who said it first, but so you start having conversations with people. You start digging in a little bit, interviewing them, and face-to-face is best, but with Zoom, this platform, we can reach people all over the place, and it's been really effective for our team, and I know for other teams in longevity to do video chat. So, you want to ask them conversational questions, make it smooth, not like an interview firing off questions kind of thing. But you'll see a little bit later where we learn to do that. But want to listen for the things that aren't perfect in their life. You want to listen for the things that they might want to change or that they're not happy with, and the things that they love in their life, because those are probably going to be part of their why. If they're like, well, I really wish that I didn't have to work 40 hours a week at this job because I have 3 little kids, and it'd be really nice to blah, 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 blah. So you're hearing that, they're kind of stuck in a job that doesn't allow them the time freedom to spend with their family. So you're listening for those things, and you're drawing those things out. Okay. So once you have that initial conversation and you've gotten to the point where, they're like, yeah, I you've asked them questions, and hey, have you, if there was a way that you could, get what you want, would you be open to it? So that's when the expose and educate piece comes in, where you go, okay, great, would it be okay if I sent you a video? If I sent you a video, would you watch it? And so that's an exposure. Another exposure is, I have got someone that you've got to meet, and you edify or whoever it is. Typically it's a mentor or an upline, but you edify the person. You really got to talk to my mentor or my friend. That's an exposure. Or get on a 3-way call. So a video, a CD, you can show them, depending on how your conversation goes and what they want, you can show them the self-evaluation forms that Dr. Wallach has developed. If they're really geared toward that health piece, you can say, well, you just have to, be simple, and so that's an exposure. And that educates them to the system. So we're not talking about products. We're not talking about, selling people stuff. It's educating them about a system that's most likely different than the one that they're in, because the one that they're in is obviously broken in some way if they're having such an urgent need for time, money, health, right? So you wanna follow up with them when you do an exposure, whether it's a call or whether it's a video. It's the Dead Doctors Don't Lie CD, and you ask what they like best about it. Not, hey, what'd you think? What do you like best about it? It kind of tells you, were they really into it? And this conversation is pretty good face to face, and probably should be if possible too, because you can read their response. What did you like best? Well, if their face lights up, then you're like, okay, cool. They're qualifying themselves through this process of how you're getting an idea of how serious they are, right? So, and so most people, it takes about 4 to 6 exposures really kind of get it in and give them a really good idea of what the system is all about. But for some people, it's 1. For some people, it's 12. So it's just a matter of following up, developing a relationship, asking those questions, having many interviews and conversations and things like that to really draw this out. Okay. So they have been exposed, they have been educated, and they're really excited, and you're really excited to help them. And they're really excited to get their needs met. And they feel really heard by you. because you have all these conversations. So they sign up with you, you sign up, you show them the plan, they sign up, they want to be a business builder. Typically, and most effectively, 24 hours later, you want to set up another meeting. And you do exactly what we just talked about for and with them that we started with. The why, the list, prioritize the list. So they're all excited. You do it 24 hours later because we know how transient and fast-paced this life can be, and it can sweep us away. So if we get this taste of something and we're all excited about it, that's when the iron's hot. So we want to really capture that and get with that person and get them started right. So want to talk about their why. You want to really draw that out. You know, why is that important to you? What would it feel like if you didn't get that? Those things, and really get deep and get, you know, really sort of write it down. Those kinds of things. Then help them develop their list. Again, depending on what they want. If they just want to do this business enough to cover their own stuff, great. 50 is fine. Name a list of 50 people is fine. And like we talked about before. 200 is for those who are serious about being business builders, who want to get out of the system of working 40 hours a week for 40 years, and who want some residual income. So we educate them on the whole process of their why, of the list, of the interview, the exposures, the closing, the sign up, and setting expectations. So that's the whole process in a nutshell. So really important is to set the expectation. If they start to pull away, how do we draw them back in, ask their permission, you know, to, or have that conversation, you know, because again, if you don't get plugged in, it's easy to get swept away and disengaged from the whole thing. And then people, you know, kind of lose motivation and don't want to do it, and, you know, it's understandable. So set expectations for not only if they pull away, but also, you know, let them know from your perspective at your, wherever your level is, or from what your mentors have told you, what it's going to take, what it really looks like to get to whatever their goal is, what their want is. So, and one of the things to do that in this whole process is getting their money back in 30 days. So that's understanding, number one, there's a 30-day money back guarantee, but also understanding how the process works. And you're helping 4 people that gets your money back. So it's really important for people who are, because the questions that people typically are asking themselves in their head is this real? Can I do this? And will you help me? So we want to answer those before they actually come out of their mouth, because sometimes they won't come out of their mouth. They'll just be thinking it. So it's a really good opportunity to do that. All right. So want to get them paid ASAP, help them make senior associate in 7 days. And then 1-star executive in a month. So associates make 1-star execs, and 1-star execs make lay. All right. Any questions so far, guys? Good? All right. Flag me down if you have any input here. Okay. So the communication, sorry?
I have some input.
Yes, ma'am. Fire away.
So something that I've been learning, you know, there's the 4 to 6 exposures, which is great. You know, a lot of people need 4 to 6 exposures. But what I'm learning too, and I'm you know, learning this from my mentor, is videos are great and all, but the ideal is to invite someone to a who. And we can do it through videos, which is, you know, as long as we're edifying Dr. Wallace, so have you. But the reason, and this is what I'm learning, the reason why it's important to invite people to a home to be introduced to a who is because the power really a big part of it is having them see the culture that we're in.
Yeah. Yep.
And when people see that there's a group of people going somewhere, doing the same thing, on the same path, it's a very powerful thing. And so that's what I'm learning. So that's the ideal, inviting them to a who, preferably a home. And the videos are good, don't get me wrong, because you know, they're very educational. The only thing with videos is sometimes, you know, they're just kind of on their own, you know, and they're not able to see the culture that we're in.
Right.
They're not able to be introduced to each one of us, and so I just wanted
the opportunity to feel it.
Exactly, right.
When you're in a room with people that are operating at that high frequency, and they all, you know, care about one another and are all, like you said, all going in direction, that's powerful in and of itself before anyone even starts talking, I find. So
right. And it's a support system. It's a group of people supporting one another. And that's one of the questions that people have is, you know, am I going to get help? Am I going to get help?
Yep.
So,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, because part of is this real? Can I do this? And will you help me? Those are all pretty much answered when you take someone, you know, invite someone to home. So absolutely. Thanks for the input. So I sign up Dawn, or Dawn signs up me. Dawn and I talk every day. This is the communication method. I sign somebody up. Dawn and that person talk every other day. They sign somebody up. Dawn and that person talk every third day. That's the 1, 2, 3, 4. So the closer your connections, the more frequently you want to be communicating. So that's what that's about. And you want to get a definite plan for this. You know, it's important to stay connected to your upline. I can tell you that, definitely. And this is what I was kind of talking about before, how you should proceed if they pull away. So just make it definite how you and they want to work that out. Because it happens, definitely happens. So, you know, I want to honor, you know, each person's how they want to be approached in that situation. So, okay, and I also mentioned getting plugged in. This is one way. Doing the training is a way to get plugged in. Being the host of the training is a way to get plugged in. I committed to Fridays at 8, so that's how one way I can stay plugged in. There's corporate calls every morning. There's at least 2 every morning, and then there are a whole slew of corporate calls. There's reading on your own. We talked a little bit about you know, the conversation and how to do that. So that's one. So personal development is one of the ways to stay plugged in, but more so the team trainings, the Facebook group. We have Voxer, which is a great app for communicating amongst your team. You can text, you can record your voice, walkie-talkie style. Pretty useful. Great. So that's really important to stay plugged in. Okay, so we have a recommended reading list. We have a book club. That's another way we stay plugged in with each other. We have a book club that we do on Zoom, so we can see each other and hear each other and, you know, talk to each other. Second best only to being in the same room with all of you lovely people. And so you probably want to get the links to some of the really powerful videos. The shorter, the better, if you are going to do that kind of exposure. But the Dead Doctors Don't Lie CD, you can join Dr. Glidden's website, and that's another connection to information that would be helpful. And so here are the 2. I love how Jennifer Payne, I wish she was in here, I love how she said this the other night. These 2 books down here, How to Sell Network Marketing Without Fear, Anxiety, or Losing Your Friends, and the Go Pro, the 7 skills. Those two books are like the staples, like the network marketing professional Bibles, and the How to Sell Network Marketing is like the right brain, heart side of it, and the GoPro is the left brain, logical, analytical, step-by-step, how to do it kind of thing. So How to Sell Network Marketing is where you find a conversation framework. There are 7 questions in there, and one great way to spend your precious, valuable time is to engage in the conversation framework training, or at least chatting with your mentor to go over that kind of stuff, or doing it with your relatives or whatever. That's a really great one to gotta memorize those questions, because then you can get creative with, well, how do I ask that in a different way, and how do I make it flow into this conversation? So you get better and better and better with practice. So that one's awesome. So and so the GoPro, equally awesome, just a different perspective, different side of the brain, and really the process, the step-by-step process on how to do this. So what do we got here? Who's that? Who just joined us? Welcome. Oh, this is iPhone.
It's me.
Oh, my husband. Hi. I know you were coming.
I got off my call, came on.
Okay. Almost finished here, but thanks for coming. Okay, so the last thing is just the tools that Longevity has to engage in the system. So depending on what people's wants and needs are, you know, the 90 for life obviously is the core and the center and the start of Longevity as a company. It's everything the body needs, all the 90 essential nutrients. So that's pretty much a definite for everybody. But a lot of people do the Healthy Body Challenge, which is a weight loss challenge, doing it healthfully, and they've got an enormous amount of support. Sanjeev Javia heads that up and does an awesome job. And so they have like a competition and some rewards for the the winners and stuff like that. So that's pretty awesome to see. I've been to conventions and transformations of people who do the Healthy Body Challenge is absolutely phenomenal. So that's one great way to get people jumped into the system. And we talked about the Z Radical Mega Pack. Huge value all the way around. Just that's our gold standard. That's what we talk about. That's what we go to. And then Are You Next? I believe that is the car bonus. So that's just another tool that Longevity has to get you engaged and get you pumped and moving. They give you a, correct me if I'm wrong, Don, I think it's $300 a month, but you don't have to spend it on a car. It's just another thank you check if you get to a certain point. So, and the YGY marketing system, when you get the mega pack, they send you all this marketing. It's not overwhelming, but it's awesome because it's all this stuff for marketing, how to do this step by step, little workbooks, how to do your list and write down your goals and all those things, and then getting the word out there. So Longevity does a great job with being supportive of whatever your passion is, whether it's weight loss or makeup, jewelry, whatever. So that is the basics in the lane. It's simple, but getting, I say this to myself and to everyone who knows that they've had to do this, is get over yourself and just stick to the basics. I am one that overcomplicates things sometimes, so doing this training, being the host of this training and watching this training and being involved and staying plugged in keeps me focused, keeps me from going down rabbit holes and getting off course, because it's going to take me longer to get to my goals if I keep doing that. If I keep complicating things, if I keep deviating from the system, stick with the system, trust the system works. The system is what creates success. Anybody can do this. So, right. Any questions? Any comments? We're at 25 after. I covered everything, and I just really appreciate you guys' time.
Thank you for your diligence and consistency, and I appreciate taking the time to train.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining me. Happy to be here. Anything, Clarissa? You're unmuted.
Thank you, Lindsay.
You're welcome. See you guys next time.
See you next time.
Bye.